Here we are at question number 3, and the question number 3 is gender differences no longer influence the education achievement level. Using sociological material, give two argument against it. You first try to read the question and get the idea that what that particular question is all about, because this is a technical question. They are asking from you that gender differences no longer influence. That's mean they are asking that gender differences has no impact on education achievement, but you have to answer in the way, because you have to oppose. Okay, you have to argument to oppose this argument. Your argument should be in a direction that gender differences does matter, and they have an impact. The differences have impact on the education attainment. So try to understand the question first, because these are very technical questions that may hurt your answer as well. So this is 12 marks question. First try to understand the structure of the question. Structure will remain same for the 26 marks question as well. So what we will do, that particular question should comprises on at least 4 points. Number 1, you have to develop an argument. Develop your argument. Next part of the question, you have to use the sociological material. Sociological argument or sociological material to support your arguments. Okay, so you have to give you have to mention, or you have to refer to, or you have to highlight the idea of any XYZ person, XYZ sociologist, to support your argument. The next heading should be, the next part should be the sociological material that you have to use. Number 3 part, clear explanation. Clear explanation. And 4th could be, explanation should be relevant. Okay, it should be relevance. Relevance means you have to conclude it, and conclusion the way that your sociological material or the developed argument should be concluded and opposing the statement that will you read in the your question. So let's try to understand the first. This is for one heading, or you can say this is for one argument, and next argument again the pattern will remain same. This one you would be able to get 6 marks, and for the second you would be able to get again 6 marks. So let's try to attempt the question first, then you would understand that how you can write the answer. Okay, so I will try to connect all these points with my answer. So the question we have is, gender differences no longer influence the education achievement. Using the sociological material, give 2 arguments to oppose that view. So let's start from the first, that what sort of material we can write over here. Number 1, let's say statistical evidence. Statistical evidence or statistical reasons, whatsoever the things you can write. Okay, this is my first argument, but I have to explain this argument. I have to prove that how it can be the negative, or how it can oppose the question statements. So statistical evidence, despite the claim that gender differences are no longer influential. Gender differences are no longer influential. Statistical evidence indicates that girls consistently outperform consistently outperforming boys in education or in education system. For example, in many countries, many countries, girls have or girls achieve higher grades. Girls achieve higher grades and higher rates of graduation and higher rate of graduation. No, here what I did, I develop an argument to oppose that question. Okay, the question was that the gender differences no longer influence. I said, despite its claim, but statistical evidence saying otherwise, that girls are outperforming the boys. Okay, now what I will do, I will link it with some sociological material. Okay, so you can write it in the paragraph as well. You can write in the 2 paragraph, or you can make it third, but don't need to give an argument that I'm using sociological material or etc. Okay, so I'm just for making a video and just giving you the pattern, the understanding of the pattern. That's why I am writing in a different headings, like this is argument development, and then I will write I'm using sociological material. No need to write such headings. Okay, you can write it in the paragraph as well. I'm just explaining it for you so you can get idea. Now studies such as, now you can say, for instance in the UK, or you can say Department for Education in the UK, Department for Education in UK shows that girls outperform boys in GCSE result. In GCSE results, girls are more likely to achieve higher grades. Girls are more likely to achieve higher grades in education or in schools. Okay, what I did, I follow the second pattern or second requirement. I use the sociological material. Now you have to explain it or conclude it relevantly. You have to conclude it. Now how I will conclude that questions, that these statistics demonstrate that highlights that you have to focus on the wording. Okay, so your conclusion should be based on those words that must oppose the question statement, and the question statement was gender no influence, okay, or gender are no longer impactful. Now what I will do, I will write the word that will oppose this statement. These statistics highlights that Gender continues to play crucial role in education achievement, the higher performance of girls, attribute to high level of conformity to school norms and more effective communication style. Okay, this is the way you have to conclude that first argument. Now come on to second argument. You have a lot of argument, but you have to highlight two impactful arguments. Now we have a lot of things that we can write over here. For example, you can write the teacher expectations, speech codes, let's say, or the self-fulfilling of prophecies. You have a lot of an argument that you can write over here, but I would mention over here teacher's expectations. And interaction and interactions. Now let's develop an argument to oppose the statement. Teacher expectation and classroom interaction. First, you have to highlight the importance of this argument. So what I will do, teacher expectation and classroom interaction. Teacher expectation and classroom interaction are influenced by gender. Which can affect educational outcomes. Educational outcomes. So teachers may unconsciously have higher expectations. Teachers may unconsciously have high expectations, for girls, provide them with more positive feedback. Or you can say as compared to boys. Now come on to the second thing, that you have to use the sociological material. Now what we will do over here, we will highlight few of the studies. Let's say forensic, according to forensic According to Forensic, teachers often perceive girls often perceive girls as more studious, as more studious, and boys as more disruptive, and boys as more disruptive. Disruptive. This can lead to self-fulfilling prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy, by prophecy where girls receive more encouragement, where girls receive more encouragement, and support enhancing their, let's conclude it, enhancing their academic performance. Academic performance. Now let's conclude that question. How we will conclude it? These different interaction interactions can contribute to observed gender disparities in education achievement, boys might discourage by negative reinforcement, boys might be discouraged by negative reinforcement, by negative reinforcement and lower expectations, while girls benefits from the positive reinforcement, and higher expectation, and higher expectations. This is how you have to answer for that 12 marks questions, and no need to spend more than 12 to 14 or 10 minutes.